Phone live. All right. How's everybody doing? See, you guys have been chitty chatting here a little bit. That's kind of cool. Sharing where you're from. Give it a few minutes to get some people in here. We got 161 people. Awesome. Yeah, where's everybody coming from? The UP, Michigan. I've been there before. Went snowboarding there.
There's snowboarding in Michigan?
There is, in the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow, this thing got really fast. Hey, Pamela. Thank you. Colorado, Illinois, Arizona, Nova Scotia. Always welcome our Canadian friends here. Humboldt County, Oklahoma. Awesome. Hey, Lori, Jackie. Hey, Bobby. The Ozarks. Right on.
Ozarks, Arkansas?
Yeah, Georgia, LA, Pennsylvania, Texas. I love that we get such a variety of people in here. It's amazing how diverse this group is. It's so cool. Redwood City. Uper? What's Uper? Hey, Sherry. Northwest Ohio.
I'm listening.
No, not you, Siri. Get out of here. Arizona, San Jose. We always get good California presence, good Ohio, Michigan, Vancouver, North Texas. Love it. Toronto. Lots of Canadians too. I love that. Ocean Beach. Right on, Frank. Or no. Catherine. Sorry. Frank said doing cooking with Hawk live. We've never done a live cooking with Hawk before.
No.
That would be fun though. I could be the cameraman. Tanner's here. Lola's here too. Vicky, rural Oklahoma truly sucks. I can only imagine.
Rural Oklahoma. Holy shit balls.
Man. That would be rough. Elizabeth said I'm not prepared to give up Coke. Neither is this one.
Why would we have to?
I think they're just bending the knee as everybody else is. Didn't they make a Trump Coke can?
Oh, they made a
Some
Trump
shit.
Diet Coke, yeah.
Yeah. Boston. Finley, Ohio. I know. Where's Finley? That's
Northwest. It's up by Toledo.
That sounds familiar. Angel's not here now. Tia, let me know how I can help you guys. Thanks, Tia.
Thank you, Tia.
Yeah, what a time, huh? How's everybody sleeping? How are you sleeping?
Not great.
No. You're waking up early, right?
Dude, I'm wide awake at 4 a.m.
Yeah. I'm sleeping pretty well, but I tend to stay up later than normal. Gotta watch that. Yeah, not sleeping. Lots of people not sleeping great. Not surprising. That's totally normal. Times like this. Leaning into heavy magnesium to sleep. That's smart. Pretty stones. Magnesium's good. A good thing to do before bed. A little mag calm. Smoking out helps, yep. No doubt.
Does magnesium help you poop?
It does.
And sleep?
And sleep.
Hopefully not at the same time.
I mean, I think we're all deficient in magnesium for the most part, but yeah, it's good. It's a good supplement. Nightmares, yeah. After Hawk said we were all going to die, I don't sleep. See? I gave him a talking to this morning about that.
Well, look, man.
It's, yeah. it's really challenging right now to
Well,
stay regulated. Well, it's over there causing trouble.
let me see if I got them any like
Yeah, go
rawhides
for
or
it.
anything.
Yeah, you guys might hear some background dog noise if the rawhides come out. Yeah, it's coping mechanism time. I want to talk a little bit about that. Um, there's a vast range of emotions present that all are valid. It's really important to not gaslight yourself, and you hear people saying, "Oh, you're overreacting," or this or that, and whatever you're feeling, it's absolutely valid. Nobody can tell you it's not valid. Um, I think that there's a few things I wanted to talk about. First, I wanted to talk about this shirt,
Yeah.
Stand with Ukraine. This is daggercustomapparel.com. Tom Dagger. He's
on TikTok.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thanks, Jackie.
He's a TikToker that's doing amazing work raising money for orphanages in Ukraine. It's been really, really powerful. So that's Dagger Studios, Dagger. Sorry, daggercustomapparel.com. So check him out. Where's Trump been all day? He dropped some smoking potato last night with Gaza. Where is he? That's what he does, Jackie. I mean, that's the whole point. It's, I think one of the things that's really important is to, along with limiting our ingestion of this stuff, is to also not be overtaken by everything he says. Jenny said, "How long have you gone by the name Hawk? Do you ever slip up and call each other real names?" I think we did that once. I don't know. We've probably done that once, but
And for me, it just started when I started on TikTok.
yeah. I mean, other people started calling you that, right?
Yeah, because of my username.
Yeah. Yeah, Lori's got the hoodie, Stand with Ukraine. It's a great shirt, great hoodies.
I have the hoodie. I have the hoodie and the T-shirt. The hoodie is one of my absolute favorite hoodies.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so comfortable.
Kelly and Spike, if we are going to die, I'd rather know. Well,
Yeah.
we don't. There's a lot we don't know. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thanks, Rebecca and Kelly.
I think that's the point. Is that we don't know, and
yeah,
I think Hawk did a post last week about this. Of like, don't believe him. This guy lies through his teeth. He's a TV personality. He says things to get a reaction. He says things to distract people, and he loves it. He loves getting everybody whipped up into a frenzy.
Yeah, and what he said,
Frank.
last evening about Gaza is different. I don't think falls into that category of don't believe him, because that had an immediate impact
globally. Yeah. And we'll continue to.
It's a different level than the bullshit that he says here at home.
It is. Absolutely is. Yeah, I'm not talking about that, but
yeah.
Thanks, Frank. Yeah, but it's the Gaza thing was, there's all kinds of things to say about that. Thank you, Kimber. But yeah, it's hard to be in this kind of state of being knocked off your base just constantly, and it's not going to let up, I don't think, for a while. So I think I wanted to, first of all, I just want to ask you guys, what do you do that helps you to self-regulate? What helps you kind of find your ground or stabilize,
or are you guys able to do that right now?
Yeah, that's a valid answer.
It's a 24/7 challenge, man.
Yeah. Music, that's a great answer. Gardening is awesome. Meditation, yoga, nothing. Yeah, I get it. Books, lots of weed, walks, cooking. Yeah, it's a flood. It's a flood.
Well, and that's the point.
Video games.
The flood is very intentional.
Walk the dog. I do that.
Mm-hmm.
Unplug. Yeah, unplugging is good. And if you, yeah, Katie said, or wait, Gen Xers, connect with people I love. Yeah. I mean, if you have that option, that's really important. Watch hockey, paint, anything that takes your mind off of this, you know, just for a period of time. Dissociate, Rebecca. Yeah, I get it. I mean, that's a valid answer and a valid response and a valid coping mechanism because we're dealing with nervous system stuff here and it's not easy. We have our prefrontal cortex and we have our limbic survival brain, and many of our survival brains are just in the on position permanently at this
Yeah.
point. So, and much of that is subconscious. Yeah, talking on the phone. Yeah, expressing your emotions. CJ cried on the phone with my bestie. That's great. It's like finding someone that you can express your emotions with that's going to actually just hold space for you and not try to fix it or not try to make it go away. It's amazing to do that if you have that option.
Thank you, Aaron.
Oh, thanks, Aaron.
Appreciate that
Best
very much.
medicine.
That's a nice compliment.
Really, Rosie. That's awesome. Thank you. Um, but yeah, it's if you have that option to co-regulate and to be with somebody that can hold that space and you can do that for them, that's amazing, especially if it's someone who is regulated, you know, and their nervous system can help your nervous system. Kimber said, yeah, my amygdala is not happy. Totally. No doubt. I feel you. Cleaning. I do that sometimes too.
Yeah, I did that last weekend.
Yeah. Max Tamara said breathing techniques. Really good. Yeah. I notice, my breath being shallow a lot. I notice, get on that stuff and start scrolling. And
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to list some regulation exercises that I thought would be helpful for people. Um, that things that help me, things that I do when I need to self-regulate. And one of the things that's really important is that if you're dealing with your nervous system state and you're in high activation, like let's say you're at level like 9.5, if you move that to a 9.4, that is an enormous shift. It may not seem like it, and you may not feel the impact of that, but the slightest change in your nervous system state towards regulation is enormous. Thank you, Isaac. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Isaac.
Um, so that's really important to keep in mind that, you know, and sometimes when you're in super, super high activation, um, the it's any port in the storm. This guy, I used to listen to this guy who has this stuff. Hey, Attorney Di, call it organic intelligence. And he would always say that it's any port in the storm, meaning like anything that's not harmful or self-destructive or potentially addictive that you can do that feels better. You're helping yourself feel better, and that's really important, especially when you're just over threshold and over capacity, and you can't. You feel like you can't regulate. Sometimes it's not an option to like kind of intervene with your nervous system. And thank you so much, Robin.
Thanks, Robin.
So sometimes we are at this level of any port in the storm where, and for me, that looks like sometimes I'll watch a movie and just tune out, or I'll listen to music, or, find something to distract myself. Um,
So what kinds of things do you do to regulate, like when you're out in public?
Breathing is the biggest one. First, just tuning into what I'm doing with my breath. It's not like even in an effort to try to control it. It's just noticing, like, what is the sensation of breathing feel like in my body, however it's showing up, however it's happening. Um, and then from there, I try to do like a 4-7-8 breath or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
because I can do that um, pretty, without, you know, people noticing, or I feel comfortable doing that. The other thing I do when I'm out in public is orientation.
Mm-hmm.
And orientation is, you know, as humans, we're constantly orienting. We can orient in two ways. We can orient to danger, like if somebody behind you drops a glass on the floor and it shatters, you're gonna first thing you do is physically turn your attention and your body to that, and you orient yourself to that scare, that threat, or you interpreting that as something startling to make sense of it and see what it is. The other thing you can do is intentionally orient to your environment. If you're in a space that's calm, that's familiar, that feels safe. Um, Thanks, Isaac.
Thank you, Isaac.
You can
Yeah.
orient to your environment,
Yeah.
and what that looks like is just kind of letting yourself look around the room, the environment that you're in, and maybe you pick up an object that you kind of find interesting. You can pick it up, you can feel the texture of it, you can find something of interest in your environment and really analyze it and look at it and look at the pattern or the texture and things like that. And what you're doing is you are sending your nervous system signals that you're safe. You're basically showing your nervous system that you're safe. So it's like the nervous system doesn't communicate in language like we do. You can't, you can tell a child, small child that's scared, everything's okay, it's going to be okay, but it's more powerful to show them, and that's true of the nervous system too. If you show your nervous system you're safe, orientation is one way to do that. um,
Lola?
and so it's a really great tool that, it does take some practice, but I would encourage you to kind of like check in, see how you're feeling, and practice orientation and see what that does for you. Another one is the VU breath, which I think is really great. Stacey says being in a room full of puppies. Yeah, if you have animals, that animals are such good co-regulators.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are just like
They're the best.
they're the best. They're always up for it. I mean, cats can be a little persnickety sometimes, let's be honest, but yeah, animals are fantastic for as a regulating resource. Music is also fantastic. Um, One of the things that is powerful about music is that you can you can use music, and you can even create playlists for this. You can use music to attune to how you're feeling. So if you're feeling like rage and anger, you can have like a heavy metal playlist that you put on headphones, you blast it, and you just like you're attuned. The music is attuning to how you feel emotionally. If you're feeling really down and melancholy, you can put on a really mellow, you know, almost sad kind of playlist. It can really help your nervous system, your experience to have that attunement. It's like, it's really interesting. Yeah, Attorney Di says that's why I like box breathing. You count while you do it. That's great. Box breathing is awesome. 478 breaths, same way. I love that. Thanks, Kelly and Spike. Dog merch. Yeah, we don't have any dog merch, do we?
We
We're
should.
missing dog
We really
merch.
should. That's a great idea, Kelly.
Yeah. So yeah, those are some things. Oh, I also have I have a link here. I was gonna put the VU breath is the other one that's really powerful, which I'll post a link here to a YouTube video that shows somebody doing the VU breath.
You want to pin that?
Yeah, let me pin that. So I'll pin that. That's someone showing an example of the VU breath, which was something Peter Levine uh, uses that a lot. So that's a really powerful one. Um, what else do I do? Tapping. I think somebody mentioned tapping. Tapping is really good. Welcome, Robin. Um, yeah, tapping is really good. Butterfly tapping is where you kind of like it's like alternate tapping. You can do alternate tapping, or you can alternate tap on your legs or on your arms. Like just that's a kind of a nervous system support thing. And then one of the most powerful things is co-regulating, which is what we're doing right now. So being with other people, that's one of the powerful things about an app like TikTok is the co-regulation part of that. Even though there's a lot of negative stuff on there. Yes, Jocelyn, bilateral stimulation. Aaron said we have a troll. Well, let me know who the troll is. We'll get rid of him. Thanks, Indie Kitty. Despite all my rage.
She put a question up earlier that said, "I wish I had a better way to channel my rage."
Well, that's a really important thing. So processing anger in a healthy and positive way, like healthy aggression. I mean that Indie Kitty, that anger is totally valid, so freaking valid with what's happening, and that your job might be in jeopardy. Thank you, Gene.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gene. That's a nice compliment. Thank you.
I would try. One thing that helps me, I would love to always be in an environment where I could just scream like primal scream to process anger, but that's not I'm not in that kind of environment usually. It's like even if I were alone in my place, somebody's gonna be like, I'm gonna call the police.
I'm going to
Or
call the
something.
police.
Yeah, it's a little scary. It can be really unsettling. So I like to growl. I do this kind of guttural, like primal growling, and I flex my muscles and I grit my teeth, and I just let it as long and as hard as I can, and then I kind of stop, and then I let what happens with me is I feel this energy kind of pile up, and then it just kind of like slowly starts to dissipate, and I sit and I let it dissipate, and I do that a few times, and most of the time when I do that, it ends in the experience of grief and sadness, and sometimes that will bring tears and things like that. So it's really powerful. So for anger is really powerful emotion. A lot of times we're afraid of it, but it's really important to yeah, going to the gym. That's a great place. That kind of physical exercise for me is really good. Rent a rage room. That's the ultimate, right? I mean that, and I want to take Hawk to a rage room and just stand in the corner and record it.
I'd be up for that.
I think that would be really fun. Yeah. If you fill your sink with water, stick your face in it and scream, that would send me into another state of fight or flight. So that would not work for me, but I get it.
Thank you, Lisa. More Cincinnati in the
Yeah,
house.
awesome.
We have an aunt who lives in Cincinnati.
Yeah, axe throwing. Yeah, yeah. There's no way I could submerge my head in the sink full of water. That would send me over the edge. um, so helplessness, that's another. Yeah, that's a great question. What do you do for helplessness? So you know, I feel like, I mean, I've been going through this. Oh wow, thank you, G. That's amazing.
Thanks, G.
I hate feeling scared. I'm so worried about the environment, flora, fauna. I can't deal with it anymore. Drill, baby, drill. Yeah, I get it.
Well, yeah.
I get it.
And who the hell knows? Glasgow, Zelda.
Oh wow, Zelda.
Who the hell
Awesome.
knows what's going to happen when Elon Musk goes into the EPA?
Okay, let's not add to the.
I'm just saying.
So yeah, nature has an incredible way of self-correcting and dealing with human impact. But it's a valid concern, G, for sure. And Zelda, that's a great thing you mentioned about skincare, self care. Like those kinds of self care things are so freaking important. If there's anything that you can do, that you do for yourself, that feels good, that feels like you're taking care of yourself. It could just be brushing your teeth or washing your face. But while you're doing that, if you can like really soak it in, be conscious and aware of what you're doing. Like I'm really taking care of myself
Treat it
right
like a
now.
meditation.
Yeah, treat it like really absorb it. But I want to get back to the helplessness feeling. That is, you know, I I continue to think about this analogy that we are in a family that is being traumatized by the father of the
Yeah.
family. And
Thank you,
oh,
Tia.
thank you, Tia. That's awesome. So it's you know, this person that's traumatizing us. Oh, thank you, Stephen. Hawk After
Stephanie.
Dark, or Stephanie. Stop Hawk After Dark.
That'd be fantastic.
So we are all of us are feeling this feeling of helplessness, and I equate that to like a child that can't control these bigger things in life, can't control finances, can't control relational dynamics between parents, can't control um, who comes and goes out of the house, can't control where the food comes from or when it comes and all this stuff. And then those things start falling apart because the adults in the room are creating all this trauma, and that child just feels helpless. Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know what to do here. And that is such a normal feeling to have right now. And I've been feeling that a lot, and feeling like, oftentimes in a family, there are these protectors that come in. Sometimes it's a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle. Sometimes it's just the parent of a close friend. That's what it was for me growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I had a place I could
We had a
go.
couple of those.
I had safety. I could go seek this out, and I did. But our protectors have failed us. They're failing us miserably. That's how we got here, because we should never have gotten here. But those protectors that are supposed to keep this kind of thing from happening have failed. Thank you, Heath. So, um, but there are still some there, and it's really important to point this out. And I listened to it was last night? No, it was 2 nights ago, I think. I listened
AOC.
to the live that AOC did, and it was 90 minutes long. And I did nothing else. I just stopped everything I was doing and I gave this my full attention. And it snapped me out of that feeling of helplessness, because here was somebody who's on the inside of this thing. I trust that they are not part of it, that they don't want it to happen. And it felt like there was a protector speaking to me just like a normal person. It was like it was just a normal person speaking to me normally. It wasn't like these kind of platitudes. Thanks, SB.
Thank you.
I watched Bernie's video. I appreciated that, but the way AOC speaks in those lives, it's like she's just talking to you like a person.
Thanks, Jackie. That's funny.
So, thanks, Christina.
Oh wow.
10th Muse, good to see you. Yeah. So I encourage everybody to watch that live. That really helped me to kind of snap out of it. And he said, Falcon, please refresh your blurry. I don't know. Do I look blurry to everybody? How could I look blurry but not Hawk?
I just appear to be blurry in real life.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be an internet connection thing. There's not much I can do about that. But so both blurry. All right, this is a new thing.
That is a new thing.
What do we do here? Does anybody know what to do when we're both blurry and pixelated? Hawk, is your internet failing us?
I don't think so.
Thank you, Kimber and Paige.
Thank you both.
Getting out of despair. You all feel like protectors. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Kimber.
I mean, no, CJ, I'm not a therapist, but I'm glad it calms you down.
We've both had a great deal of therapy.
Yeah, though. I think I'm going to put the link actually to the AOC thing in the chat here because.
Can you email that to me too?
Yeah. It was really helpful. And she did it originally on Instagram, but this is a YouTube.
Rage Against the Machine, no doubt. Well, I wish they were still going strong.
They're great. They're a great one for attuning to anger.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to replace the pinned message with this link, and that's the AOC live that she did. I encourage everybody to watch that and just give it your attention. And the things that it's the content is good, but one of the things that was so great about that was she's a very emotionally regulated person, and she talks about self-regulation, finding safety. She's very intelligently emotionally intelligent. So having someone that's that emotionally intelligent, that's that well regulated, that can deal with all this stuff is very powerful. It's like having a regulated adult come to you as a child to help calm you down and help regulate with you.
Pure Alcatraz, Columbus, Ohio, hemispheres.
No way, man. Columbus, Ohio. Thank you, Susan. Appreciate it. Glad to have you here. So,
and any other albums? Just Rush's first 10 studio albums.
Yeah, just that.
That's my core right there.
Yeah, so check it out. I really want to encourage you to do that. Everyone, including Hawk here. That really helped me snap out of this kind of feeling of like there's nothing we can do. It's not. She tells it like it is. It's not like all wine and roses, but there are things that we can do. And she talks a lot about those things. She talks about how important it is to call your representatives. It seems so stupid. It's like old technology. Like, why are we going to get on the phone and call? It makes a difference. And you'll hear staffers talking about this too, that it's the only thing that matters is calling and leaving this message or getting someone on the phone and saying, this is what I'm concerned about. This is what I want. Jerry said, just got a message. I'm in a timeout. I don't know anything about that. I haven't put anybody in a timeout.
Is Pelosi even back yet?
I don't know.
So, well, I guess she's not my congresswoman anymore since I moved out of San Francisco.
Yeah. So yeah, do the things that she talks about in that video. Knowing your rights is absolutely critical, especially if you're a person of color, especially if you are, in threat of being visited by ICE or being in the sphere of people that are being visited by ICE.
Or by the Secret Service.
Or FBI. Knowing your rights is critical. She talks about that. And it goes up from there, but the first thing is self-regulation at the very bottom. and finding safety for your nervous system and that kind of thing. So important. Please, please, please go watch that video and just take it in, because AOC is a protector, and she is going to always be a protector in this scenario. And it can give your nervous system a feeling of, okay, because we don't really hear from these people in Congress much, and when we do, it feels like these kind of one-liner, we got to fight and we're not going to give, all this kind of stuff. It's different from AOC. It's very different, and it has a different effect. Hey, there's a MAGA nutter. Let's get them out of here. You're not. You're welcome here, but not if you're just going to type MAGA with a capital exclamation mark. I mean, come on, man. You can get a little more creative than that.
I mean,
Yes,
imagine,
Brenda, calling your reps.
imagine like coming to this live, watching us talk about this stuff, and typing in MAGA with an exclamation point,
That's all they got.
and thinking you did something.
That's all they got. Yes, Brenda, calling is super important. And yes, Sarah Jasmine Crockett is another one. There are people.
There's another
in there. All right, where?
Maria Guandapo. I'm sure she's
Trump, not you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, so
when you report comments now, you can select an option that just immediately reports them to ICE.
No, you can't. So yeah, I blocked her. Democrats need a young leader. Well, we have them. We have
them, and Nancy Pelosi's got her hip replaced boot on their neck.
So you know what? Yeah, just whatever you guys got to do to work through the moment. Oh dear, that's right, Attorney Di. I'm with you. I don't have a mute button over here. Just mute.
What? That wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, but we know where it goes. That's the problem.
Ends up with my cranky pants on.
That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, Attorney Di's here. She's awesome. Yeah. So that was a lot. Please watch her video, AOC. You don't have to agree with everything she says, but she's an example on this national scale of this family that is experiencing a trauma because our leader, the leader of the family, has gone completely off the rails and is actually causing trauma to all of us. She's an example of a protector, and it's helpful.
Marcus in Spain.
That.
Thank you, Marcus from
welcome,
Spain.
Marcus, thank you.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. I don't know if I'm sure we've had people from Spain before, but I'd love to see it. Hubby's first time here. Everything he needs to hear. That's awesome, Veronica. Having a rough time with the news. Yeah, the news is nothing but a rough time.
It's just
it's a rough time.
It's a fire hose of tragedy and catastrophe.
It's hard.
Very.
So yeah. So that's the other thing I want to talk about is, you obviously hear a lot of people saying, regulate or regulate your exposure and limit your time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that unless I go into it with that mindset. So if I just pick up my phone and start scrolling TikTok, I just I get overtaken. Number one, the app itself, it could be all funny, silly videos. It is the most addictive thing on the planet. It's so addictive. But you add in the bad news part of it and the shock and the trigger to your nervous system and your limbic system and your fight or flight. It goes to a whole other level. So my suggestion is, and this is what I'm going to start doing, is when you pick up that phone and the intention is to scroll on TikTok, set an alarm, set a boundary for yourself, whatever you want that to be, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you want it to be, and honor that alarm. When it goes off, you stop and you take a break. And maybe you want to be absorbing information, but still set an alarm for 10 minutes. And when that alarm goes off, take a break and regulate. Do something supportive to your system. And like one of the things you can do is do what's called a bookend. So sit down and do something that's very regulating and calming to your system. Then pick up the phone and scroll. And then when the alarm goes off and you set it down, do something again to regulate your system. So you're bookending the experience and you're giving yourself a better chance of not being overtaken and going over threshold. That's just a really helpful thing to practice. And the one thing that's really important about nervous system regulation is that you practice these regulating resources when you're not over threshold, when you're not in this extreme fight or flight activation. You could be completely calm and relaxed, you could be out in nature. Practice regulating your nervous system. You might not need it, you might not feel like, oh, I'm really activated and in this intense state. But the more you practice when you're not in that intense state, the more access you will have to that resource when you are in those intense states. So it's just like an athlete that trains for, a gymnast that's going to the Olympics. Like they have one moment to do their routine, but they rehearse it and rehearse it and rehearse it so that when they get there and all those emotions and all that stuff rises up, they know what to do. So that's also a helpful thing. Hey, Coley, good to see you here. Let's see. Yeah, go outside. Going outside is such a good thing. I mean, it rained here like torrential all day, and I had a friend who was here in town. Thanks, SG from Portland, and I was like, let's just get umbrellas, man. Put on our raincoats and go outside and walk, and we did.
Thank you, Sue.
Thanks, Sue. Appreciate it. Connecting with others. Yeah, delete TikTok. That's probably really good for your mental health. The emotional support Canadians are here. Thank you, Kat.
Excellent.
We all need
the emotional support Canadians.
We all need a dedicated emotional support Canadian. Yeah. And man, just feel the emotions. We got to feel these feelings. We got to, if you're feeling grief, cry, let it out. You know, yeah, Mimi, the chat's on a little bit of a delay because otherwise it just becomes out of control.
Unwieldy.
Yeah. Animals are great. Nature is always just so powerful. And then, so back to the analogy of the family, or like I was talking to you this morning about this this feeling of like, I kind of feel like our country, our culture,
Lola,
is going through this like kind of reckoning or dark night of the soul or whatever you want to call it, this healing process, this healing journey. And this is part of it. And I really could feel the analogy of that. We're in that pain point. We're in that point where things have to get worse before they get better. And specifically, I think about people who are Trump supporters. They're going to suffer. A great many of them are going to suffer. We are going to suffer with them, a great many of us, but they are going to suffer. And Joby said, "I'm not a mod." Here, Hawk Falcon. What do we need a mod for something? But I can say from my personal experience that I have had to reach a point of suffering in my own experience before making a change for the better. And I think that's what we are experiencing. And some portion of these people in their suffering, I hope, are going to wake up. I think it's already happening. You know, we say, oh, they regret their vote. Well, that's an example of them waking up. Like I'm feeling the pain of my choices.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make different choices. So I think that, we're at this point where the only way out is through right now. There is no avoiding this. We're in it. We're deep in it, and um, we have to go through it. And it's going to require um, suffering. Yeah, hit rock bottom. That's right, mischievous metal maven. That's exactly
Mm-hmm.
right. It's like, I got sober when I was 17 years old. I went through drug and alcohol rehab, and I had to hit rock bottom. It's a requirement. You have to do it. You have to get to that point. It's otherwise it would have worked for us to just tell them what was going to happen, and they would have said, "Oh, that's terrible. We don't want that." That didn't work. you know, it didn't work. So, you know, it's I think that's what we're going through, and we none of us know. Welcome, Nikki. None of us know what's next or how bad it's going to get, but um, we have each other. We have community. We have people who are trying to do things to protect us. We have the other thing that I think is important to note is that we have a lot of people in the judicial branch of government that are not in favor of this stuff.
Yeah.
And this is all going to move through the judicial branch.
It's already started.
It takes time, but we have a lot of people in that branch of government that are not okay with what's happening. The attorneys can talk more about that. I'm not an expert on that, but yeah. So it's a challenge, though. There's no question, man. Battling fight or flight response every day. I feel
Every
you,
day.
Paige. It is like not just every day, but like
Yeah.
every moment.
Yeah.
Just you know. Yeah, Virginia, really scared as a brown person. I totally get that, man. I totally get that, and this is a challenge, and but I'm telling you, people call your representatives constantly. It's the only thing they listen to, and watch that pinned link up there, AOC. I've seen some posts on TikTok of people who they're not congressional staffers, but they know congressional staffers and they get information from them and they know um, what's going on. Aaron says, "Why hasn't Elon been arrested?"
Because he has the permission of the President of the United States.
Yeah.
And the President of the United States is in personal control of the Department of Justice and the FBI.
Yeah. Talia said, "Please eat at family-owned Mexican restaurants." Absolutely, man.
Oh, every chance I get, man.
Absolutely.
I mean,
man.
we're fortunate in the Bay Area. There's no shortage of them.
No, that's great, Melanie. You've been sober 17 years. Congratulations. That's amazing. It's not easy. Thanks, Genia. Oh, she's national football champions.
That's right.
That's right. It's as excited as I can get about it. What do you guys think about Maine boycotts and general strikes? Possibly effective or not? Thanks, Heath.
Well, you were talking to me about that yesterday.
I think that boycotts are critically important. We have one of the things AOC says in this live is that we are the majority. They are a small minority. Didn't Hawk say to not bother calling reps? Well, if he did, he was wrong.
Huh?
If he did, he was wrong. They are a very small majority in this country. Trump looks like half of people voted for Trump. It's not half people. It's like 30 some percent.
Nope.
How many?
22% of the population.
22% of the population voted for Donald Trump. That is an incredibly small number. So these people that didn't vote, they need to suffer along with the people that voted for him. They need to wake up, some portion of them. So, she really stresses this point that they are the minority. We are the majority. And the other thing she stresses that I think is so important, they are clinging to the amount of power they have. They barely are holding on to it. They are not like running this show. They want to get to the point where they're no longer clinging to it.
No mud, no lotus.
Thanks, AB. Yeah, standing up against the oligarchs. That's right, man. It's they do not have some massive mandate on power.
There is no mandate.
There's no mandate. There are 3 special elections coming up for the House of Representatives that Democrats have a chance to win. And it's easy to say, well, 2 are in Florida. There's no way they can win. Never going to happen. He says that all the time. I call bullshit, man.
No. I do not say that.
Oh, you agree? Oh, he's agreeing. Okay. You have a question?
No, I'm just letting you know that I want to talk at some point.
Go ahead.
The thing about special elections for congressional seats is turnout for special elections is usually around 20% of a normal election. Almost nobody shows up to vote in them. So if Democrats showed up in these 3 Republican congressional districts in the same numbers for the special elections as they did on election day, we would retake control of the House of Representatives because we'd have 218 in the House.
Democrats
we could retake the House in 3 months, 4 months,
That's
5 months, whatever.
So here they are. There's 2 in Florida. There are 2 special elections in Florida on April 1st.
So that's Matt Gaetz's district?
District 1 and District 6. Matt Gaetz, I can't remember the other guy.
The other guy's name's Collins.
Yeah. So
Collins is the guy who got confirmed to be the Secretary of the VA. He's an election denier, and 24 Democrats in the Senate voted to confirm him.
Yeah. So one of the things that we need to stop doing, I think, is just saying, "Oh, that's never going to happen. That's not going to work."
I agree with you, especially on these.
We are no longer in a blue versus red world. Even as much as they want you to think we are not. We've left the partisan world of Republicans versus Democrats, even though that's how our government runs. But as a general public, we are entering this world of people who are going to feel the pain and wake up and join the people that voted against this and the people that won't, that are just stuck in the cult. And they're never going to do anything. The people that wake up, who sat it out, didn't vote, left the top of the ticket blank, are going to feel the pain, hit a threshold, and wake up. These people have the potential to vote in these special elections in a way that eases their pain or that might change something.
Dr. Bean.
Hey, Dr. Bean.
So a question rolled by from user Pure Alcatraz, the essence of which was basically
that one.
Yeah. What if the courts start issuing a bunch of orders against what Trump and Elon Musk are doing? And what if Trump and Elon Musk ignore those court orders? Donald Trump is the head of the executive branch. One of the roles of the executive branch is to execute the laws. And when the judicial branch issues orders, that is in effect, those are laws. And, we've, again, unprecedented times, we've never had a president who just blanket ignored the courts.
Thanks, Paige.
I think we're going to find out. I think that there are going to be orders that come from federal courts and potentially even the Supreme Court that Donald Trump is just like, okay, yeah, you've issued your decision. Now you guys can enforce it.
Yeah.
Because the judicial branch has no enforcement arm. There's no enforcement capability. The judicial branch relies on the executive branch to execute and enforce their decisions and rulings.
Yeah, that's true, Jackie. You can't charge him with a crime because he's immune, but that doesn't mean all is lost. That doesn't mean things can't be done. I mean, the Supreme Court is going to have to see all of this stuff in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all going to be palatable to them.
Thomas and Alito are going to let him do whatever he wants,
Of course,
regardless.
yeah, of course. But they don't. They're not all of it, you know.
Yeah.
Indy Kitty said, "I work for the government and live in a red state. Help me." It's called an extinction burst. Yeah, extinction burst. I've heard that. Behavior gets worse before it dies. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Well, this
already
entire
has.
thing that we're living through right now is the last gasp of white male supremacy.
Yeah, it's absolutely that. You know.
That's why Donald Trump wants to deport 20 million brown people.
Thank you, Megan.
So that white people don't become a minority in 2042.
Oh, welcome, son. Yeah, so somebody pointed out that AOC said turn every doorknob. I think that is so critical because you know, you can look at these special elections in Florida and just be like, yeah, there's no way, man. That is complying in advance. That is playing into their hand, just giving up.
I have an idea.
Let's hear it.
For calling your representatives and your senators, and instead of just saying you need to oppose Donald Trump, all of these people have campaign war chests. Call them and say you need to give money to the candidates running in these 3 special elections.
See, this is what happens when we talk about this stuff.
There you go.
That's a great idea.
You need to donate money to help turnout.
Thanks, Adolfo. That's a great idea. These are the kinds of things that I think it's like, to me, okay, these 2 special elections in Florida are April 1st. So let's go absolutely batshit bonkers on raising awareness of that and get people hyper aware. The focus shouldn't be 2 years down the road on the midterms. We can take back the House by summer.
Yes.
That will have an immense impact on their power.
And think of how demoralizing and enraging that would be to Donald Trump.
They will be absolutely hamstrung. They will still have power, but they're going to be, it will cut them off at the knees. So let's focus on that. These are the things that pull you out of helplessness, to feel like there is something you can do. And it may not work, but that doesn't matter.
I'm glad we're having this conversation, because this is the first time in the last 3 weeks I've felt like there's something I can do.
There you go. That's a perfect example. So, yeah, I mean, I watched AOC's live, and everything, I came away like, oh my God, April 1st, we can add 2 more seats to the House of Representatives for the Democrats. I think that will give the Democrats the majority in the House, waiting for that 3rd election.
It will. It would be, well, no, it would tie. It'd be 217.
Okay, so that's all you
Which
need.
would shut down the House.
It would shut down the House.
It would shut down the House.
It would stop them in their tracks. The other special election is New York District 21, Elise Stefanik's seat. So Democrats are trying to delay these special elections. I think that one is supposed to be announced. The date of that is supposed to be announced within 10 days after she resigns. She has not resigned yet, so we don't have a date for that, as far as I know. If I'm wrong, people can correct me.
She'll resign once she gets confirmed as UN ambassador.
Right. So this is stuff we can do, man. I mean, if we're going to sit around on social media, you know, we might as well be talking about this. We might as well be talking and brainstorming about ways that we can take back the House of Representatives, not in 2 years, now. What do these elections in Florida look like? Yeah, it's ruby red. That's right, Vivian, but we're not red versus blue anymore. To some degree we are, but how many people in these districts are already shocked about what's happening? They're already thinking, man, I made a mistake.
And now they get a do-over.
They get a do-over. How many of them?
They get to cast a protest vote.
Yeah. How can we let them know this is your do-over? You can have a piece of a do-over right here, right now. Not to mention that Democrats typically come out in larger numbers than Republicans. I don't know. I'm not educated on these two races, but I'm going to become educated on them and figure out what we do. And I love that idea of calling your representative and saying, donate money.
It's practical. It's doable. It could have an impact. It could actually have an impact.
Yeah. I mean, it's like call your reps and say, you want out of this mess? Here's a way out. Start communicating to people in these districts that we can change this now. Like spring, we can change this. Who doesn't want to change this come spring? At least who doesn't want to put up a massive roadblock come spring to what's happening? Then everything that's happening at the DOJ and the executive branch is going to be impeded by the Democrats taking back the House. We don't have to give them 2 years. Let's not give them 2 years. I don't know what the chances are, but I'm not going to sit here and say, screw it, we can't do it. What's the point? You know? I don't know.
So
that helps me not feel helpless.
The two in Florida are on April 1st.
Yes.
So Democrats could stop Republicans in the House on April 1st.
Right.
That's less than 60 days.
That's right. Unless somehow those get
and then control delayed. Of the House would come down to that last one in New York.
The Florida districts, Donna, are Florida District 1, which was Matt Gaetz, and Florida District 6, which was, what's the guy's name?
Collins.
Let's do it, man. Let's at least try, right? To not try is to comply in advance. Rule number 1 on tyranny.
Do you have a district for Stefanik?
New York 21. Yeah, Jackie, write out what we should do. Well, the first thing, Hawk's going to work on that because we need some more kind of definition around like what do we do, and maybe we can come up with a script for people to talk about when they call their representative. And I cannot stress to you people enough, calling your representative about any of this matters. It makes a difference. Watch AOC's video. She talks about it. It matters. Yeah, and if you want to boycott the Super Bowl, do that too. Cat Quest, thank you.
Thank you for
that.
If
we get the House back, we have control of the committees and all the powers. That's exactly right.
Exactly. And
we can open investigations.
And they get, that's right. They get subpoena power. Democrats in the House would have subpoena power over Elon Musk.
You could subpoena Kash Patel. You could subpoena anybody.
Subpoena every fucking member of his cabinet.
Yeah, you can just go to town. So, yeah. That's the way, right? Hawk should go to a protest as Cletus. I love that idea. People would think he's a Trumper.
Oh, yeah. I'm in California. I'd get my ass kicked.
So Agnes says, I'm in Texas. I have no representatives. Not true. That is, I cannot stress to you enough how important it is to call. I don't care if you're in a absolutely 90% blue area.
Red.
Or I'm talking blue too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to call it. These people are so on board with this. It is critical. They're flooding the zone right now with horrible, traumatic things. We need to flood them with phone calls. Every single one, red or blue. Doesn't matter how red, doesn't matter how blue, it makes a difference. They pay attention. Raccoon Refuge. Thank you.
Thank you.
I thought this was a great question. Do you think Dems voted to confirm and to get another seat up for grabs in special elections? Good question.
I
don't know.
I really don't think congressional Democrats are that strategic. I really don't.
Probably not at this point.
No. But I like that. I would like to think that they're that strategic, but the only way that they could prove that to me is if they followed it up with specific actions.
Yeah.
And I've seen none.
Danielle said, Hawk, you have to identify the seats up for grabs, the Dems running for those seats, and get all TikTok news people on board. Yeah, we got to get everybody on this. All the social media people. So this is how we come out of hopelessness. This is us taking our power back. The one thing they need more than anything is for us to feel hopeless and just give up. They need that now. Let's not do that. Let's not do it. MK, already doing this stuff. That's awesome. Tia, thank you. Call your rep now. Tia just put the phone number up there. Yeah, this info is not hard to find. 5 calls app gives us a script. That's awesome. And you know what? It's like Timothy AOC lives on Instagram. I pinned her last live up top at the top of the chat. It's the pinned thing. It's on YouTube as well. Really powerful.
I mean, Donald Trump is a chaos agent.
Yeah.
And Republicans are riding that right now. What would cause more chaos than Democrats taking back the House in 3 months?
People are saying the 5 calls app is great. That's it.
15 months before the fucking midterms.
I mean, it would be a massive blow. It's a shot across the bow, but we have to do it. We have to turn every doorknob, as AOC says. We have to shoot every shot we have. I don't care if we have a 5% chance. AOC, I guarantee you there are tens of thousands of people, if not more, that thought AOC did not have a prayer of making it to Congress.
She beat a Democrat a Democratic incumbent in her first primary who was part of the Democratic leadership in the House. He had been there forever. He's buddies with Bill and Hillary.
Yeah.
And she beat him because she's an old white guy, and her district is not full of old white people.
Sharon said made 3 calls today. That's awesome. Ocean, say the names again, please. Which names?
We don't know the candidates.
Yeah, we don't know the Democratic candidates yet. Hawk, get in touch with Billie Eilish, spread the plan. I love that idea, Christina. That is an awesome idea. I mean, we'll craft a video and some information for this to start getting the word out. Yeah, let's do it, people. I mean, this is the way through this time. This is what we're doing right here. There's 882 people here. That may not seem like a lot, but you have to start somewhere. So let's start here and let's go for it. If we could take back the House or even tie the House in the spring, I mean, they would absolutely they'd be as stunned as we were on election day.
Well, Republicans would do everything they could in the state of Florida to steal those 2 elections.
Of course, they're probably going to anyways, but that doesn't mean we're not going to try. Yeah, 5 calls app. Lots of people are saying that. Paige said we ride at dawn. That's right. See, Tricia said Hawk showing some help is helpful. See that?
Yes.
Who'd have thought I got Hawk feeling hopeful tonight?
Because I am one pessimistic motherfucker, man.
Pure Alcatraz, call the sergeant at arms, arrest these who don't comply with House subpoenas. Can they? They probably can, but they don't. Well, that's not true, is it?
Steve Bannon
went to jail for
that. And Peter Navarro both served 4 months in prison.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris, with a
Thank
K.
you, Chris.
They both served 4 months in prison for ignoring subpoenas from the January 6th committee.
Yeah.
And Steve Bannon's going back to prison.
LA JJ said, Loud J said, anytime you guys want to start a movement, I think we're right. We're starting it right now.
Yeah.
This is it.
It started on February 5th.
We started it in this live.
And the beautiful thing is it's got a deadline.
That's right.
We only got to do this for 2 months.
That's right. And when that's over, we're going to start the next one. I mean, this is what we have to do. It's This is Donna said, I'm used to meditation falcon. This falcon's fired up.
Well,
Yeah, it's I have two sides, you know. Yeah. Yeah, joining communities that are looking at action. SDMB said, what are we doing? I missed it. We're taking back the House in April with the special elections. We're going to tie it in April and take it back in the summer. We will disseminate more information. Get AOC, Jasmine Crockett, all their friends. Yeah. Aaron Parnas, Billie Eilish. I love this. You know, this is how these things are done, man. We outnumber them. They cannot change
Bingo.
that. We outnumber them and they cannot change that. So the only thing that can happen to their numbers from this day forward is for them to go down because they are hurting people. And the more people they hurt, the lower their numbers go. They're hurting people. The more people hurt, the more they wake up to reality. So their numbers can only go down. They can only lose numbers. And they are clinging to the power that they have. Let's snatch it back from them. We the people. Yeah, every call made represents X number of people who didn't call. That's how they view that. They get these congressional leaders, their staff hands them a piece of paper every morning with
Call stats.
the three top issues from the phone calls from the day before. They look at that. They look at it. Doesn't mean they do something with it, but they look at it. So what happens day after day after day when they see these pieces of paper and the number of calls gets more and more and more? They're going to start to get scared that they're going to lose their job. And that is the only thing that motivates most of these people. And AOC pointed out that there are not a small number of Republican representatives that live in districts that Joe Biden won handsomely in 2020. So they are at risk, just by definition. They are at risk. These people can be swayed if they think they're going to lose their job. That's another way we can do it. That's not even a special election. Yeah, Rosie hasn't been on social media. I believe that she needed to step away from it, and I support that 100%.
Did she lose her house?
No, not in the fire. She moved back to New York.
Oh.
But Kelly and Spike, yeah, viva la resistance. That's right. Thank you. We outnumber them. Don't forget that. Just repeat that to yourself. When you're feeling down, we outnumber them not by a small amount. What did you say it was? 20% of people voted for this.
22.
22%. That's nothing. That is nothing. Thank you, Cat Quest. Appreciate that. Nishi, you are not the only blue person in Ohio. I guarantee it. I know a lot of blue people in Ohio.
Most of our family back in Ohio is still blue. Thank you, Cat Quest.
This is
good live.
It's a good live.
It's turned into a good thing.
Yeah.
We got 45 minutes of regulation, and now we got some we got some inspiration, and we got a plan.
So here, it's really interesting because
we should check our URLs and see if we can set up a site.
Yeah. The when you're regulating your nervous system, whatever it is you're doing, you are vastly more effective in doing it. Thank you, Sue. Appreciate it. Let's fight this fight. Yes. Let's take it back. And you know, it's like we have to give it our best shot.
And I'll find out who the Dem candidates are, and I'll have them on the podcast.
Absolutely. That's a great idea. Let's get them out front and center. Let's start sending them money and raising money.
Yep.
You know, this is as big as the November election.
It's bigger because it'll be an atom bomb going off.
It will be a mandate to them. They will have to pay attention.
It'll be a complete repudiation 90 days in.
100%. This is really powerful. Yeah, I'd love to get Billie Eilish on the podcast. That would be something, wouldn't it? Billie Eilish is awesome. Oh, thank you, Danielle. Pick specific dates to flood calls, emails. Don't bother with emails. They ignore emails. I mean, you can send them, but everything I've learned is they don't look at them. Phone calls are the only thing that they pay attention to.
Because who makes phone calls anymore?
That's kind of why, right?
Nobody.
I mean, well, we're going to.
Thank you, Danielle Garrett.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, and this helps us stay out of hopelessness. And even if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. We will find the next thing to put our energy into, and we will not let up. We're not going to let up. We outnumber them more than 3-1. Oh, thanks, Tracy. Hawk's highlighter and printer paper fund. Yeah. And that's a really good point. I lost the comment. We're smarter than them. AOC mentions in her live how unbelievably unintelligent Elon Musk is, how dim he is. He takes credit for other people's accomplishments, just like his little buddy, Trump. They're of the same ilk, man. Florida District 6 Democrat candidate is Joshua Well. Write that down.
For which district?
Florida 6.
Joshua Well.
Joshua Well. And yeah, I think, it's really important, where we spend our money. We have absolute enormous power where we spend our money. These people only get money from us. There's nowhere else they get it. They get it from us.
Who?
Everybody, all these oligarchs, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, they only get money from us.
No, I thought you were talking about candidates.
No. I'm talking about these oligarchs.
Elon makes his money from the government.
Well, he does, but that money is our money.
Yeah. Oh, did you see? I don't know if you saw that throughout Europe over the month of January, Tesla sales absolutely cratered.
Good.
They're down 63% in France, 59% in Germany.
Awesome.
And an equivalent amount in the UK. Tesla's absolutely cratering in Europe.
Oh, thanks, Pure Alcatraz. You can buy a little Donnie Two Scoop sweatshirt at Hawk Podcasts.
Hawk Merch Store.
HawkMerchStore.com.
And we just put up a whole bunch of new stuff that we're going to be making some videos about here shortly.
Yeah, Hawk's going to debut some new designs. Thank you, Lori.
Lori Goff, thank you very much.
I love that graphic. Oh, awesome. Brianna's in District 6 in Florida. All right.
Oh, brilliant.
You can reach people. That's awesome. Grassroots donation movement, absolutely. Let's do this thing, man.
Okay.
This is good. This is really good, man.
I kind of want to get off the live and start doing some work.
It's like, I'm not just going to drop these people here.
No,
we got to come down.
We got like another 12 minutes.
Hey, Fatal Jester, there we have all our new shirts that are 4X and 5X, I think. 4X at least. Let's see. Yeah, we need another We the People shirt. We do.
We're going to modify that.
I mean, that one's such a great shirt. I think I'm just going to modify it and take the Pride 2024 off. So it's just the We the People, maybe add something else to it. I'm not sure. Yeah. Chris said, Falcon, we need a poll. What do you guys want to do a poll about? Megan, I know way too much about politics. I want my life back. I know, wasn't it nice?
Dude, I hear you, man.
Politics should be so boring. So Brenda says the gerrymandering Florida is insane. It is. But I cannot stress to you enough that we are leaving partisan politics.
And if the special election is on April 1st, all the Republicans are going to be out on their fucking boats.
We are leaving partisan politics. We are entering an oligarch situation where it is the 1% versus the 99%.
I mean, I kind of think that's the tagline: give Democrats subpoena power over Elon Musk.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that. This is the answer to Elon Musk. Drag that dude into Congress for some hearings. Mid-Ohio Valley native. Awesome. So we had a pretty good turnout tonight. I think we hit over 1,000 people at one point.
We did a couple times.
That's cool.
It's time for the Christmas lights.
Yeah, we can get Chasing Oz involved. She's in Florida. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, any of you have ideas, thoughts, email hawk@hawkpodcast.com. Greg, quote, the revolution will not be televised. Gil's got her on. That's right. We are on our own. We need to fight. That's right. Well, we're not 100% on our own, but that's the feeling, right? So we're not on our own, but we are powerful and we are not powerless. So let's exercise our power and let's not let up. Do not submit in advance.
Thanks, Danielle.
Thanks, Danielle. Yeah, that's a good point. The new DNC chair. I mean, let's try to get this movement going. We'll get people involved. Did you write down Chasing Oz?
I have her cell phone number.
Hawk's getting fired up over here. This is good. We got to get Hawk fired up, man. That's the ticket.
No, this is so good, man. It's just going to help me get out of a fucking funk.
See, there it is. And I credit AOC because I watched that live that she did, and it pulled me out of that feeling like there's nothing I can do. There's a lot we can do. Yeah, we can contact V under the desk news too. Write that down. Jessica Craven. Absolutely. Tennessee Brando. Yep, we know him.
Brando will be on board.
Brando and Midas Touch. We'll get those guys involved. Everyone download 5 Calls app. Did you write that one down?
I did. I wrote it down. I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it, but I think I've seen a couple TikToks from the people who started it.
Okay. Texas Paul is another one.
Yeah.
What about yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What about
a year and a half ago, he went the other side.
Mark what's his name? The one billionaire that hasn't lost his mind.
Cuban.
Mark Cuban. So Twyla said, I'm in deep red Arkansas, not sure how to help. Call your representatives. Doesn't matter how deep red.
And here you can call Democrats in other districts.
You can call Democratic representatients
in other districts and say, we want you to help get these 3 Democrats across the finish line in these 3 special elections.
Yep.
Send them $10,000.
Yep.
We want every member of Congress, every Democrat in Congress to send these 3 $10,000.
Bulwark. Yeah.
Bulwark.
Yeah. AOC, Jasmine Crockett. Let's get everyone out there, man. Political Girl, John Colbert, Wiseacre, Mr. Global. Yeah, let's do this, people. Let's do it. We're here, right? We might as well do something. It's going to help us feel better. Thanks, Brenda. The guy with the leg stretch. Yeah, what is his name? I love that guy.
Danny D.
Danny D. Let's get Danny D in this, man. Surprise, surprise.
I don't think he talks during his TikToks.
It doesn't matter. He puts text on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get Jessica. Jessica's got her hands full.
She sure does.
Yeah, we can promote that app for calling. I bet we could get AOC on the podcast.
We'll talk to.
Yeah.
We'll get her helping us too.
Yeah, we'll try to get AOC on the podcast. Jasmine Crockett. So this is it. This is how these things work. You know what? We've been in this little shock and awe and trauma kind of paralysis, and we're coming out of it. And
not bad. I mean, we're coming out of it. It hasn't even been 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, not bad at all.
2.5 weeks, we already have a plan.
A blue dot in Texas. I don't know a blue dot in Texas. I feel like I've seen that. You want to write that down?
Is that a person?
I think that's a user on TikTok. Heather Cox Richardson. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are awesome, man.
So I have an email address for the Bulwark podcast, and I know Tim Miller reads those email addresses.
Yeah, he does.
And he's a campaign politics guy, so
That's
I'll
right.
ask him if we're blowing smoke up our own asses.
I don't care if we're blowing smoke. It doesn't matter. We're not in.
We'll check. I'll check with people who know more about this shit than I do, and we'll just see what they have to say.
I'm not listening to anybody that is coming from Democrat versus Republican. This administration is hurting their own people, and we have no idea how many of those people want this to change.
Wonder if we could get Joe Biden on board.
We're not asking them. We're not asking them
I'm kidding.
to. We're not asking them to elect Kamala Harris. We're asking them to stop
What's happening?
the destruction of our democracy.
Yeah.
Basically, we're asking them to stop Elon Musk from raiding the coffers of the United States Treasury and taking our money. That's our money. You know?
Well, and that's the reason why Elon Musk is shutting all of these things down. It's to pay for his tax cuts.
Yeah.
When he's already the richest person on the frickin' planet.
Yeah, the richest stealing from the poorest. So if you guys have other suggestions for TikTok users or people we should contact to get involved in this, you can email Hawk at Hawk Podcast. I've seen names going by. I can't catch them all.
Okay, so a little more slowly. The email address is hawk@hawkpodcasts.com.
Yeah. And you can find that on our Patreon page, which is hawkpodcasts.com. It's on this YouTube channel as well.
I guess I should start checking those emails.
Pure Alcatraz said, this feels like Bill Pullman from the Independence Day moment in time.
There you go.
I check those emails every day.
Okay, good.
Ben and Jerry's, that'd be awesome. Tall Girl, Stella. Yeah, we got a lot of... See, this is amazing. Thank you, Megan. Think about how many people we have with a voice. This is, you know, it's like a year from now, looking back, what do you wish? What do you wish you would have done today, right now? This is one thing.
This is the only opportunity that we're gonna have.
Radio Chaos said we should form a curmudgeon army.
I'm it, man.
I'm in. Yeah, this is good. This is really good, you guys. Thanks, Danielle. 3 strikes trumps out movement, or the hat trick movement. I think, you know what I think? I like that. I think that we need to, thank you, Dr. Bean. We need to couch this in a way that appeals to people who voted for Donald Trump that are hurting from the things Elon Musk is doing. We need to stop Elon Musk from raiding VA benefits,
veterans,
Medicare, Medicaid, all of the things he wants all that money.
Who's that new guy who has blown up? He's a former sniper.
Oh yeah, CFH, I think. So we need to phrase this in a way that lets those people know, hey, this isn't about taking over the government and giving it to the Democrats. This is about stopping this insanity that's happening in our government, specifically Elon Musk.
I mean, his next 4 targets are the Department of Education, Medicaid, Medicare, and the VA.
Yeah.
That is going to those will directly impact every single American.
Mayan leader said, include Latino leader Carlos _Eduardo _Espina. That's a username. At Carlos underscore Eduardo underscore Espina, Espina. Thanks, Mind Leader. Appreciate that. Well, we still got 840 people here. Danielle, thank you. GI robot versus Alania movement. I mean, again, this is like, stop the
And
insanity.
just think how fucking
Harry
amazing it
Sisson,
would be.
George Conway.
Think how amazing it would be to see Mike Johnson have to hand the speaker's gavel to Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffries would be the Speaker of the House.
Yep.
Think about that when you're making these phone calls. Think about that. And anytime you are saying to yourself, there's no way a Democrat is going to win this district in Florida, you don't know. You don't know how many people in Florida are feeling negative impacts from the things that are being done. And they are not aware that they can just go vote and change this in April.
Okay. We need stats and data and demographics. Okay.
This is, yeah, we need to raise money for these two Florida races, the likes that have never been seen in a special election before, ever. To the point where they're just like, what the hell is happening here? Why are we getting so much money?
Well, I mean,
Orange Bird said Elon's daughter Vivian is on TikTok. Anyone mutuals with her? No, I'm not mutuals with her, but I have seen her. The Cuban community, yes.
I'm just praying to God in those other two districts that Democrats are actually running a candidate.
Well, I know they are in one of them.
I'm just saying, we know one.
Well, we'll put one up. We'll find one.
Okay.
If they don't have one, we'll find one. How could they not have one?
Because they're the Democratic Party.
Well, that's insane. That's insane. Man. Yeah, send emails with your ideas. I'll collect them
and information. Anybody
information,
who lives in these districts,
yeah. Any of you have contacts in those districts? The Cletus movement. So yeah, good. Redbird called my senators, emailed daily. Call them daily. Calling is better than emailing.
New York has 2 Democratic senators and a Democratic governor.
Yeah, keep calling. Thank you, Grace.
I mean, every Democratic House member, every member of the every Democratic member in state government should be on board with this in New York State.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
They look like clowns after the last 2 elections because they lost seats and ran shitty campaigns.
That's right. Lots of people on Social Security, Medicare, and 401k people in Florida. That's right. There's an aging population in Florida that relies on those things. All right.
It's been 90 minutes.
Good night, Brenda. Hawk's leaving.
No, I'm just going out for a smoke. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
All right.
Are you going to keep them on?
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Thanks, AZ Go-To Girl.
If you guys aren't here when I get back.
Go Azog Girl, whatever.
I'll be back in a minute.
All right. We have somewhat of a plan. We have a concept of a plan. Thank you, Ninty Blue. We here in Australia are seeing opposition party mimic Trump tactics now. They are pro-Trump, bit worrying. Yeah. Yeah. It's not just the US. That's right. All right. We have a concept of a plan. Let's do it. How's everybody feeling now? So how do you feel now compared to when we started? We are not helpless and we are not hopeless. A lot better. That's awesome. Yeah, and if boycott the Super Bowl, if that helps you, because you know that impacts them. Everything where you spend your money, how you spend your time, it all impacts the top 5%. Stronger, awesome. Yeah, Tabitha speaks for sure. Um, it's great, good stuff, man. Thank you all for being here. Empowered, that is really critical. Anxiety is lower. Yeah. And this isn't it, you know? This is one thing that we can do. And we are going to keep finding these things that we can do. And we're going to keep doing them. Yeah, we'll publish phone numbers. We'll put something together and probably host it and just put a link to it. Um, Dr. Bean said, I own a wing restaurant though, so still eat some wings if you skip the Super Bowl. Yes, support the wings. Son said, boycott the Super Bowl related purchases, sell those Teslas. You know, I have a Tesla. I want to speak to this because I am in a deeply democratic area. There are more Teslas here than, I mean, you cannot walk 5 feet without seeing a Tesla. It is not feasible for people to sell their Teslas. That it is not acceptable to expect people to take a financial hit and go buy another car just because of Elon Musk. Elon Musk is not Tesla. There are tens of thousands of people that work at that company that are intelligent. They do amazing work. They are not Elon Musk. They need to get rid of him. They need to jettison him from that company. And it's a very hard thing to do. But, you know, you can't just walk around hating people that drive Teslas unless it's a Cybertruck. Then you're completely, totally, it's totally warranted. All right, that's enough on that. Yeah, Elon is not the brains of Tesla. He's so far from it. He's not at all, you know. And yeah, it sucks having one, but you know, so be it. Um, Thanks, Cat Quest. Appreciate it. But yeah, if you're thinking about buying one, don't buy one. Um, there's so many people that bought those cars long before this dude went absolutely wackadoodle, and I'm one of those people. Um, so don't waste your time hating on people with Teslas. You know, it's not a valid, it's not a valuable use of energy. Let's put our energy into something that's going to make a difference. You know, absolutely. Yeah, Norman, I would never own a Tesla. I get it. I wouldn't either now if I didn't have one. But I'm not going to sell it and take a financial hit and put myself in that position just to appease somebody who thinks I'm part of the problem, you know. It is a symbol, yeah, I get it. Um, Cybertrucks are the actual symbol. Um, yeah, there's lots of other EVs out there that are great options. Feeling intentional. I like that word, intentional. It's really good. Yeah, yeah, yep. All right, people. I think we have something to put our energy into. Thank you,
I took
Jackie.
4 pages of notes.
Feel so much better now.
I feel great. I
That's
feel like
awesome.
$1 million.
This is what we need. We need Hawk feeling better because he can make us all feel better.
I don't need that responsibility.
It's not a responsibility. It's just an effect. All right.
All right.
Yeah, Sherry, that's right. You can call Jim Clyburn. You can call the Republicans. Do not call the Republicans. Call them, please. Especially if you are in a red district, call the Republicans.
And call them and
Absolutely.
tell them to stop letting Elon Musk break the law.
Yeah, call them often, daily. Please. All right, everybody. Hawk's laugh is therapy. That's right, Fatal Gesture. Good to see you. Thank you, Lori. There it is. We got it back. It's not the doom laugh. That's the real laugh.
Yeah, it is.
That's the real laugh. I can tell the difference. I don't know if you guys can, but there's a doom laugh and then there's the real laugh. That's the good one.
Yeah.
Let's keep that one rolling. All right. Thanks, Mischievous Metal Maven. You have a great night too. Thank you, everybody. You guys were awesome, man. This was good. I did not expect this to happen. This was not a plan, but here we are, man. Let's do it. Power to the people. We are the people. We outnumber them by a massive amount. Massive. Let's do this, man. Have a good night, everybody.
All right. We'll see you guys. Thank you for this, everybody. This was amazing.
It was.
This made me feel so much better.
Look at that wave. Do that again.
What am I supposed to do? You made me do like a pageant wave?
I don't know. It just looked so funny that. See you guys later. Have
Bye. Thanks again, everybody.